Hi, I'm a lifelong Democrat, and I'm walking away from the Democratic Party. I have a lot of reasons, but one that I can think of that's important is that I think the Democrats have stopped telling the truth. I went to Carolina Friends School, and it's a Quaker school, and we started celebrating Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday before it was a national holiday. So I was raised in not just a liberal environment, but an extremely social justice oriented, anti-racism environment. And I always believed that, voter ID laws were racist and that this was racist and that was racist. And there's no greater fear that I had than being a racist. I think being a racist is the worst thing that you can call someone. I happen to also be Jewish, so maybe there's a little extra fear there of, ostracizing groups of people. And one thing I realized is with the voter ID thing, don't you need a driver's license to buy alcohol? Don't you need a driver's license to drive? And is the notion that there are so many, and to get a bank account? So is the idea that there are these groups of people that can't get bank accounts, can't buy alcohol, and can't drive, and that they belong specifically to a racial group, and that therefore requiring IDs is racist? And I don't know. I think that should be dealt with if there really are large groups of people who are in that situation. But I don't think that it should be seen as racial profiling. And I certainly do not think that it should mean that you don't need an ID to vote. So that's just, I had that belief. And believe me, if I told that belief to the people that I know, I would be called a racist. And to me, it's actually racist to see it the other way, to assign certain color groups to certain inabilities. It's like disabling a group because of their color and not look like just treating everybody the same and hoping the best for everyone and helping everyone. I don't know. Maybe it's hard for people to understand that, but that was just something that I had a very difficult time rationalizing, trying to figure out why is it that I believe this, but that I'm also a Democrat. And this idea of being rational, you have to have facts to be rational, but the Democrats have not been presenting the truth. They did not present the truth when it came to corruption. They didn't present the truth when it came to people being above the law. They wanted us to just accept corruption as part of the game. And, they actually have not been honest, and they've used the media to do that. And I could go on and on about that too. But I think that has created a sickness, that not being honest about policies, not being honest about how things work, and trying to create a certain narrative has made people uncomfortable. It's made Democrats uncomfortable, more desperate, because they have some kind of cognitive dissonance where they're trying to rationalize these two conflicting views and trying to make everything fit into this narrative. And the reason it doesn't is because there are aspects of it that just aren't honest. So there's another thing. I definitely didn't think that immigration was an issue for me. Never have. And I, didn't think, to me it was obvious. I know it's really hard to get a green card. You got to wait a long time, but it never occurred to me that I would have a position on immigration. My children are in public school where we live, and the population has exploded in our area, but the tax base has not risen along with it. So what's happened is we have all these other people who've moved in, and I can't prove for a fact that they're not paying taxes, but I know that our school has gotten poorer and poorer, and that we're overwhelmed. The kids are learning in trailers because there's not enough space, and there are all kinds of language barriers. There's just a huge stress on the system. And so my philosophy is that if you're going to have all these new people coming into the area, there has to be a certain amount of funding to help to get everybody well educated and have the system be able to support that. But I don't think that our immigration system takes into account how we're going to support people who come into areas who aren't as financially well off and able to pay taxes. And so I don't think that it's logical to just expect everything to work out if you're not going to. It's like, I don't know, sending somebody on a trip and saying that they don't know how much money they're going to have, but they have to somehow survive, but then they can't budget. It's not budgeting, and it's not logical or sensible. It just creates tension and problems and stress on the teachers, stress on the kids. So, but what does that all really mean when it comes to the Democratic Party? It means that if I were to say that, I would be a racist. It means that if I believe that people should come across the border legally, that there's something wrong with me, that I'm trying to keep people out. And so I thought about it, and I think this is another thing. I voted for Obama twice, and I did because I wanted Obamacare to work. I wanted socialized medicine. I still believe that socialized medicine could work. But I have a different view of it now because I realize that if you don't close the borders, you can't have successful socialized education, which I've learned, and you can't have successful socialized medicine. In order to have some kind of socialized assistance work, there has to be some kind of way to calculate how many people are going to be receiving funds each year and what the income is going to be from taxes. There has to be a way to well, I don't want to say control the immigration, but I do think that immigration needs to be controlled if you're going to pursue social programs. And so actually, during this last election, I was looking at Bernie Sanders and I realized, hey, if Bernie Sanders came out and said that he's for socialized medicine and free college, but that we have to close the borders, then I would vote for him. But that's a problem. You can't, in my opinion, mathematically have open borders and have any of the social programs that Democrats propose. And to me, that's very dishonest. And I don't like dishonesty. And I think that that's made a lot of sickness for a lot of people. I think another thing that I just want to mention is the whole fear of coming out. I actually wanted to come out a long time ago. And the truth is that I didn't because I had already had some harassment. I posted a Jill Stein article on my Facebook page, and the people from the school that I went to, this hippie school, Peace, Love, and Happiness, actually got on my page, on the page that everybody else could see, and posted to me saying that I was a racist because I wasn't supporting Hillary Clinton because I posted an anti-war piece of literature about Jill Stein. Well, why? I mean, that's really harassment. It's really bad. And maybe these were trolls, okay? Maybe maybe it was a trick, but I can tell you right now that the whole idea of being anti-war is something that's very important to me. And it's just so hypocritical. I know that they weren't trolls, actually, because they went to my school, and I know exactly who they were. So who would hire them to do that? But I'm just saying that there's so much harassment right now. It's hard to believe that it's all real. It's just there's so much of it. And the censorship, I mean, that's another reason why I didn't vote for Hillary Clinton, was because she had it so that Pepe the Frog was a hate symbol. And that hate symbol meant that my kid, who knew about Pepe, knew about the meme, couldn't wear a t-shirt with the Pepe meme on it to school because people thought that it was a Nazi symbol. And I mean, when I started explaining to my children about all these things that they can't say at school because people will think that they're racist, they started to say to me, well, what are you saying? That we have to hide our views because people will misunderstand us? And now this year, with everything that's happened, it's starting to remind me of, my ancestors who had to hide the fact that they were Jewish. Or when my mother married a Jew, how she got into so much trouble. And that my father, who grew up Jewish, his mother tried to hide the fact that she was Jewish, and that if people knew them, they wouldn't let anybody know that they were Jewish. And this whole idea of hiding your identity is just, I don't believe in identity politics. I don't like them. But I certainly don't think that anybody should have to hide who they are or what they believe, unless it's harmful, unless what your view is, I don't know, I want to go kill people or something like that. That's bad. So, I could go on for a long time, but I just wanted to say how grateful I am for this movement. And I hope that other people are going to be making more videos. And I feel like now, if something happens, if I get harassed for making this video, I do feel a lot stronger. And I really appreciate the people who have taken the risk for all of us. Thank you.